man. So I'm gonna have John kick this intro off, and we're just gonna ride the wave.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Voice
and Rizzles. Today we have my man Aaron in studio. Aaron, how you feeling, baby?
What's going on? Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course.
It feels a little weird because I'm just like a fat kid who is not fat anymore, and you guys have like real life professional bodybuilders on here. Like,
nah, man. We have people that have great stories on here and great advice and stuff that they've done in the past. That's what we have.
Yeah.
We don't
That's what
have,
it's all about.
We don't have any set specific person that we want. We just want people that have substance and can honestly bring something to the table that will help maybe 1 out of 100 people listening or something like that. And that's all we want to do.
well, thank you for having me. I'm really grateful.
Well,
Thank
you're
you.
an inspiring dude, man.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. You know, you're saying we have a lot of bodybuilders on here, but you're a bodybuilder too. You're taking your body and you turn it into something that's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks.
Yeah, I see you training hard every single time, man. I see you in the leg
Yeah,
room.
I mean,
I feel like every day I see you, it's leg day. So
because I have a gym at work, so I can do pretty much almost everything except the leg equipment like sucks. So
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go to the Bevs, I have to do legs there because obviously the equipment there is better than anywhere else.
now, have you trained up at Montanari Bros at all?
No, I haven't. It's a little far for me, but you know, when I have the range in the Bronx, like I always look up to see like how far this is from the Bronx. Still a little far, but I have to make it up there.
Bronx. Star Fitness.
Oh,
Star
yeah?
Fitness is official, man.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
have to check it out.
Yeah, Star Fitness was great. I think they're still open. Who used to go there? Marco Rivera used to go there. Victor Martinez used to train there.
Nice.
When they weren't coming to Bevs. But I was up in Connecticut for 2 years. So when I was away at school, I had Montanari Bros up there, and I had
Right.
Bevs when I came home. So it was like the best of both worlds.
I was listening to you yesterday. You went to Quinnipiac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You were talking about the girls there. Yeah, I know a couple girls. I know a couple girls that went there, and they were, you know,
Were they good-looking
top-notch.
chicks?
Yeah, they were. Definitely.
There you go.
There you
See?
go.
Yeah,
They knew Nick.
yeah.
No, you know what? I was a fucking hermit, man. I went up there, and like I said in the podcast before, it was right after my 4-year relationship ended,
Right.
and I was just so devastated and so distraught that for me, I just started bodybuilding, and I started just getting into the fitness game and stuff like that. So instead of enjoying my 2 years away at school, I wound up just
Yeah, but
hitting
you
the
know what
weights all
though?
the time.
Like at least you were focused on something that was like actually like good for you and productive.
Yeah.
Like as opposed to something like because with me, my whole career, I was focused on the bad shit, and then I could curse on here, right?
Oh,
yeah.
drop fuck. Just
Yeah, good. All right.
we put explicit
you-
every
No,
time
I
we
don't know.
upload it.
You know, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
So,
No, we'd be kicked off by now if we said it was clean.
you know, and then as soon as I started focusing on good things, and you know, everything got better.
So let's talk about what was your biggest turning point? Like, what made you really realize, for the people that don't know, I got to turn my life around?
Pretty much one night I was asleep. I had a crazy nightmare where I fell off the top of the roof of a building at work. Like after I was in a life and death struggle, and I couldn't overcome the criminal perp, whatever you want to call him, and I got thrown off the building. And then on the way down, I pretty much just saw my life without me. You know what I mean? So. Sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
that's all right.
So from that moment on, like I have never lost focus of like trying to just be the best person that I can be, like physically, mentally, spiritually, like inside and out. Like that's
Yeah.
That's
No, I feel
absolutely
you,
it.
man.
Yeah.
And now, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that?
it was like 4 years ago.
Okay, because I only know you for the last probably 2.
Right.
So, you know, I know that your journey started a
Right.
while back.
Yeah.
And you were obviously on the job. How long were you on the job since until when that epiphany happened?
Around 9 years.
Okay.
I have 13 years in now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you put the time in.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I knew that it ran deep. You know, and I knew that because I struggle with my own internal demons even to this day. And it really is that life-changing
absolutely.
thought process and moment
Yeah.
that helps. And actually,
No, it's real. Like when I woke up, it felt so real that like I still, I guess, like right now, I still get choked up over it. Like I can't like not think about that all the time, like just day to day.
But
you
that's
know?
why we're happy to have somebody like you on the show, because it's not just you're an athlete, you're this, you're that. You're somebody with a story that, you know, somebody who's listening to the show right now, this might be their epiphany to realize you know what, I'm not alone.
Right.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends. I have a couple friends, and one of which I know is a little overweight. I've talked to him a lot. Very good kid, really sweetheart. But his question was, what was that breaking point for you?
Yeah.
So right there, and I guess I could segue into what were those first steps? What did it look like to totally transform your thought process and your physical? So inside and out, really.
My thought process immediately was like, all right, I have to change right now. I didn't really know that much about that. I've dieted in the past. Like I was a yo-yo dieter, overweight pretty much consistently my whole life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to eat less and I'm going to start riding. I had an exercise bike that was pretty much collecting dust in my house. I was doing nothing with it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to ride my bike. So then I went to work the very next day, and one of the guys at work, like pretty much rode his bike like all the time, rode his bike to and from work. He's like, hey, who wants to do the TD5 Borough Bike Tour? I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, you ride 42 miles around New York City. And I'm like, I'll do it. And the guys at work like laughed at me. And dude, let me tell you something. I was so pissed off. It lit such a fire under me. I went out that week. I bought a bicycle, and I would ride from my house to the Bethpage train station, take the train to work, the Woodside train station, and then I'd ride from there to the precinct. And then I'd do that like pretty much every day consistently for like 4 months. And I lost like 60 pounds just doing that and like tracking calories. And then there was a gym at work, terrible gym. I mean, pretty much just thrown together by the guy. Every gym, every precinct for the most part has some kind of self-made fitness center with like weights and whatever. And then it was pretty much right above my office. I mean, right below my office. And I had to walk through it every day. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start lifting weights. And then from then on, I never stopped.
And every precinct, you said every precinct has some type of weight room. But what do you get allotted time, or is it just on your lunch?
On your break or after or before work.
Yeah,
which is an unfortunate thing.
Because the shifts are long, right?
I'm a sergeant, so I work 8 hours and 45 minutes, or like 9 hours, where like the cops work 8.5.
Okay.
But if you work in a busy place, you're not even getting a break.
Yeah,
you're not even getting that hour like mealtime, which sucks, you know. And like you definitely need that time, but we don't have enough cops. It's busy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta make time to work out no matter what, even if you gotta take care of yourself first. You're out there taking care of the public. You gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, without a doubt. I see a lot of you throwing the little fun posts together, especially with the little kids. That cracks me up. Where you have them either like with like food or something like that they're not sharing with you, or they're in the gym with you. And whose kids are those? Your kids?
My kids, yeah.
There they are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I hope so.
Yeah, right? I mean, you just grabbed the kid from outside. Yo, come on in.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell me a little bit about how you taught yourself how to start training, and really, I mean, you decided that you wanted to do the bike tour, which is great.
Right.
So besides doing the bike rides to work and stuff like that, where did you educate yourself? Because before then, did you really have any knowledge or information about working out?
Not really. Like, I had worked out before. I'm not like, it's not like this is the first time I've ever been in a gym in my whole life. Mm-hmm. But pretty much, honestly, the best thing out there now, also the worst thing, is social media. Like, I started following people who were, really into this, who knew what they were talking about. Like Arash was one of them, right? Really smart guy, like knew what he was talking about. I started following all these people, started like listening to what they had to say, going on YouTube, like looking things up, like reading like nonstop. And I was just like pretty much started from zero, came up with a plan of like what I was going to do. And then I would adjust it like all the time, just depending on like, oh yeah, this guy said do that, and he knows what he's talking about, so I'll do that. And pretty much self-taught myself based off social media.
I feel like that's how a lot of us start, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I figure we really started before social media was even a thing.
Yeah.
But it's bittersweet because there's so many people who act like and really do know what they're doing, but have completely different perspectives on everything.
Yeah.
So you got to pick and choose, and then just attribute your own intelligence to it and go, what should I really be doing?
Right. No, 100%.
Yeah.
And there's definitely been things that like I've done that I'm like, I don't really love this that much, and I'll try other things. Like, as much as I would love to, I'm not a HIIT cardio guy, and I've tried it so many times. I can't get into it. Like I literally feel like I'm gonna die, and then I cannot lift later. Like I just can't do it.
So you do cardio first?
No, I don't anymore. I will lift, then I'll do half hour, 25, 20 minutes on incline, like walking, because that's what I have at my gym at work. And, like all the way up 15 and like 2.5 miles an hour, like 130 heart rate for half an hour. Like that's what I'll do after. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
But you do it the right way, because so many people burn out all their energy with cardio prior to lifting. Yeah. And you know as well as I do that as soon as you start weight training, or just training in general, moving around, you're moving your body.
Yeah.
First thing your body does is burn up the glycogen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you out there, if you burn up all your glycogen before you hit the weights, the weight training is really what your body wants to use the glycogen for. Glycogen helps you build strength. It helps you be stronger in the gym. If your muscles have more strength to them, what will happen is you'll get better results because you can tear deeper muscle fibers with heavier weights while maintaining good form. But if you blow out all that glycogen before you even do anything, what happens is you get to the weight room, you feel like dog shit, and you're taking away that ability to build lean muscle at a more effective rate, which then burns more calories.
Right, and you'll see it too. Like even if you're out there and you're just starting and like you don't believe us, one day do your cardio first, then lift, and then like the next day lift first, then do cardio. You'll feel how much more energy you have lifting the second day. Trust me, and it's much more important.
Oh, absolutely.
I emphasize weight training because a majority of my transformation, I barely did any cardio whatsoever. Like most of it was weight training, and like I emphasize heavy on the weight training. Like, and the thing is like, this is where social media is bad, is because you have anybody out there who could just be a trainer, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, hop on the treadmill, do 45 minutes on the stairs, and then whatever. And because it's easy for them to write a program that says that, because even if you don't know what you're talking about, you'll be like, yeah, just do some cardio, but. If you've actually done it, like you realize how much more important weight training is than like cardio.
Well, it sets a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.
What it does.
Yeah.
You can do cardio all day, but if you have nothing underneath, you're never going to have any of the definition.
And the more
that
muscle that you have, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, and it's just it's important.
Well, it's like take any one of us in this room compared to like say an elderly woman doing cardio for the first time.
Right.
The three of us have more muscle in our bodies, so what's going to happen is if we do an hour of cardio at, say, 3 miles an hour,
right,
compared to a woman who's never worked out before that's a little overweight, doing an hour of cardio at 3 miles an hour, if you took each one of us alone would probably burn 4 times the amount of calories than she would out of the whole cardio session.
Yeah.
Because we're carrying around more weight, so we're activating more muscle fibers to move. We're activating more muscle fibers to move more weight for the same amount of time.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I walk every night with my mom. We walk around. We live in a little gated community. And we've been there for 17, 18 years. And every single night, because my mom's a mortgage broker, she's always working. Every night she comes in my room. She goes, hey, you want to go walking? I say, yeah, let's go walking. So because it's almost like a download.
That's great, man.
It's almost
like,
just,
honestly,
it really, you know what? And I say this a lot. My mom's my best friend.
That's
Single
great.
mom since I was 2. She's always been there for me. She was mom and dad, taught me so much about the world. And I owe a lot to her. So whenever I get to end my day on a positive note with mom and just walk, we always compare with Apple Watch. We always compare who burned more, and every single time I'm burning more. She's like, hey, that's not fair. I said, listen, I'm like, I'm 198 pounds. I'm 195 pounds. You're nowhere near that. I said, you got to realize the difference in muscle and weight and everything like that. But that's big for me. It's just getting those extra steps in lately, because for me, since we've been starting to do the podcast, I've been dropping. And I'm trying to stay like right around 190, 195 now. So I got a couple more pounds to go down. And I'm probably just going to, I got lean for the wrong season. I got lean for fall. So I got to hold this shit now until next summer, because I'm prepping for summer 2020 now.
There you go.
But for me, I didn't incorporate cardio for a while. So I was doing HIIT cardio at first when Arash had me do it, and I'm still doing HIIT every other day. But I'll do 20 minutes. I'll either do 15 minutes of HIIT or I'll do 20 minutes on the stairs now.
Right.
At the end of my workout, and then if I go walking with my mom, that's like another 200-300 calories that I get to just burn right before I go to bed.
Right.
So it's been good for me, and I know cardio has always been a staple for dropping the weight and obviously doing it.
That's why I've been doing for the last like month or so. I've been doing cardio like 4 times a week after lifting. Because I know personally, the walking on the treadmill. I'll do stairs sometimes if I'm at Bev's. I'll do stairs, but I don't have a stair climber in my own gym. But yeah, no, I know that's my biggest difficulty. Like my goal right now is to get down to like 235, 240, which is like it's still like another 50 pounds down from where I am now, and like I really just need to like just do it and just shut the fuck up, you know.
It's achievable.
Yeah,
you know that.
100%.
You
Yeah,
already know
absolutely.
what
Yeah,
so now-
absolutely. It's just
So what did you drop from? Because I didn't ask that.
well, I always tell people 425, but that is inaccurate because that's as high as my scale went. So I definitely weighed more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went from 425 to 278 was my lowest, and then what happened was about this time last year, I totally fucked up everything. Like I was like, all right, I'm going to take a little break. You know, I've been dieting for so long. I'm just going to keep training consistently in the gym hard, and which I did. And I'm just going to like kind of like loosen up on my diet, and I fucking blew it. Like I gained 40 pounds in 2 months, like legit. And I still am having like a tough time like taking it all off. Like, yeah, I know some of it's water. Maybe I gained a little bit of muscle here and there, whatever. But big mistake. Like to everybody out there dieting, don't fucking do that. All right? Just don't. Like just keep on going. Like, and I had people tell me like, yeah, listen, you probably shouldn't do that, you know? And I was like, yeah, whatever, fuck you, you know? And I'm like, all right. And then, you know, I sincerely apologized later, you know? But
What was the first thing you went for when you were like let up on the diet? What was like?
dude, it was
What was,
fall.
something, what was something that you were craving?
It was fall, so I am the biggest basic bitch ever. So like,
I knew you were gonna say that
dude,
shit.
pumpkin spice everything, man. Like pumpkin spice muffins, pumpkin spice donuts. Like I love it. Like,
We should have
so-
done this podcast in a pumpkin patch. This is bullshit. Fuck.
Yeah,
No, I'm going through this. I'm going through the exact same thing right now because I'm as basic as they fucking come.
yeah, no,
But
it's tough.
I'm in my prep.
Oh shit.
I'm surrounded by pumpkin sized lattes came out in June.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm sitting there like, ah, you motherfuckers.
yeah, yeah. It sucks.
Nah,
Pumpkin
you're
donuts,
screwed.
pumpkin-
You're screwed, man. You got weeks to go. How many weeks?
6 weeks this Saturday.
Oh, it's not too bad. All right. Well,
It's not bad, but luckily, you know, all these places are trying to make a good buck. So they'll have I remember I got pumpkin until I think it was April last year. I went in there. I'm like, do you guys have pumpkin by chance? Like, yeah. What do you want? Fucking serious? All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You got to hold on to your own. That's what it is. You just hold
Yeah.
on to your own, freeze it, and then like whatever. Like I have like protein that's pumpkin, and I bought like 4 of them, and I have it all year.
Yeah.
what was the first form?
Yeah.
You know what was funny was my girlfriend worked at Starbucks for about 10 years, and when she was working there when we were dating, she told me like, yeah, we just got all the pumpkin stuff in, but like I'm not supposed to tell anybody because they get it in like 2 weeks prior to
Just to make sure they got it.
right. So like 2 weeks prior to the launch date of like the pumpkin sized lattes and when they're gonna launch pumpkin stuff again, so that every store has it on time.
People really be doing shit like that. Like
So
they can't drop hints that they got pumpkin in because people start going nuts.
People go insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I love
They'd be-
pumpkin, but
they'd
not
be-
like that.
They'd
Like,
be a riot.
Imagine Harry, get on the ground, give me all the pumpkins.
yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh my god.
I've seen a guy rob for an actual pizza, like not money, like a delivery guy, not rob for his money, rob for his actual pizza, and they took off. So I can only imagine there's definitely somebody out there plotting a pumpkin spice syrup like robbery right now.
Is that the weirdest thing you've seen?
Oh, absolutely not, man. No. I there's so much weird things out there that I couldn't even tell you the weirdest.
All right, you know what? We're gonna get to some of that.
Okay,
and
yeah,
it'll
no
go
problem.
unnamed, and you can give
Okay,
false
yeah.
details to. Because I want to hear some of this shit.
Yeah.
But I actually wanted to talk about just when you were younger.
Okay.
Were you always on the heavier side, or were you
When I was a kid, I was like rail skinny.
really? So you were like a hard gainer, or
I don't know what I was. I was just rail skinny, but like genetically, like my whole family's overweight. Like several of them have had like weight loss surgeries, and if you want me to get into that whole thing, I'll get into that in a little while. But have weight loss surgeries that they've failed, and you know,
what the staple?
staple, sleeve, like there's a bunch of. I mean, it runs the gamut of everything that they've had. But then around like 11th grade, I just started to gain weight like a lot, you know, and I became pretty overweight around like 11th, 12th grade, and then like I never really got back down to being thinner, you know,
Yeah,
ever.
or on the comfortable side
Right.
of
Yeah.
things. It was just kind of always you just
Yeah.
started to accept it, which I get because
Yeah.
you
No, I've heard that.
Yeah, I
both
was about
you
to say
guys
I
talk,
mentioned
like,
a bunch of times. I
Yeah.
was 270 at
Yeah,
5'7".
that's
like
crazy,
it's not
man.
Yeah.
that's not healthy. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
good. It's not a
absolutely
good look.
No.
You know, he was heavy when he was younger
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But I was different. I was younger and I wasn't that far gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my shit was, man. It
That was more
it
extreme.
It was all the fucking Dunkaroos. I blame that shit. 'Cause just
Yeah.
scooping the frosting out by the finger load.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if you want to continue and tell me, through college, obviously, when did you decide you wanted to become a cop or an officer? Because to me, I know all my friends that go for the test, they all come. A lot of the guys come to me. They're like, "Oh, I gotta drop some weight because I gotta get the test done."
I'll tell you my whole life story pretty much. So
Give it to me.
when I went to college, first college, I went to 5 colleges. All right, so yeah, I was pretty much a college screw up, big time. I wanted to do like film and video, legit. I swear to God.
Come with me, baby.
And I went to this small college in Pittsburgh because like my father, who I didn't really see at the time, was like, his opinion meant a lot to me because I never saw him. So like pretty much he was like, "Oh, you should go to this school," but the school sucked. It was like some small art school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Point Park University. So I went there for 1 semester, started doing film and stuff, and then the next semester, very next semester, it was a dry campus. I brought in beer. I got caught. I got thrown out.
Once, first offense.
First offense, that's it. You're out. See you later. Bye. And or like you get thrown out of the dorms, or you could find someplace to live off campus. But I don't fucking know anybody. I don't know anybody. Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere, probably.
Right. So from there, I went to SUNY Purchase because my friend went there. But then I switched, even though it was an art school, I switched from art to science. So I started doing so strange. So I started doing like chemistry.
But you go through things mentally, and you start to feel different ways about certain things. So you were experimenting, probably.
So then I went from there to University of Buffalo, where I was there 2 years, and like this whole time consistently, I was overweight, not taking care of myself, drinking too much, like doing other things, and eating too much, all that stuff. And then finally, I got to a point where I came home after one of my last semesters, and I became a landscaper for the town of Babylon. I was a seasonal landscaper, and pretty much that was my life. I was a landscaper, and then I became a bouncer at the Nutty Irishman. I was a bouncer at the Nutty Irishman from 2004 until I got on the job in 2006. And pretty much the reason I got on the job was my mother gave me like an ultimatum, like pretty much like told me like, "You're a loser. Like, what the hell are you doing with your life? You got to do something or you're out." So I was sitting, it was me and my brother. I was sitting there and I was watching Cops on TV. And I was like, I was drinking at the time too, and I was like, you know what? I could do that. And that's the God's honest truth. And then from then on, I took like a bunch of tests. I took a bunch of tests out west first. I took Las Vegas PD, LA PD, San Diego PD. And then I took the NYPD, and then the NYPD called me, and I was like, you know what? And then I started to get in shape. I actually lost 100 pounds the first time because I was overweight to get into the academy, but I did it completely the wrong way.
Over the course of how long?
4 months.
Wow.
So I did it completely the wrong way. I just dropped. I was eating 1,200 calories a day, and I was just fucking burning myself out doing cardio constantly. It was at this gym, actually. It's not there anymore. It was called All Natural Fitness in Lindenhurst. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was like there back in the day. It was good. It was like a smaller version of Bev's. But I lost 100 pounds to get into the academy, and then from the academy, immediately started gaining weight back as soon as I graduated the academy. It was just like from there, over like the course, I guess like 5-6 years, I gained well over 100 pounds again.
Would you say it was because of the job, or would you say it was because of the job plus just throwing the towel in, not having to focus anymore?
This is what I always say, because there's people out there who will blame the job for it. The job will give you the highway to do it, to get out of shape, to like get stressed out, to do all that shit.
Sitting in the car, stuff like that.
It will give you every opportunity to let that happen to yourself. But at the end of the day, it's you who lets it happen to yourself. And it was me who let it happen to me. You know, because there's plenty of guys out there who are cops, stay in shape, whatever else. I just personally let all those things become excuses in my life where they had to not be excuses anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the tipping point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have the actual commitment and dedication mentally.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. You have to have the commitment and dedication just in general. However, until you make that mental change and dedication to yourself, you're just bullshitting.
100%. And one of the biggest DMs that I get, and they like break my heart, is like, listen, my husband really needs to lose weight, or my wife really needs to lose weight, or my partner even on the job needs to lose weight. What do I do? And I'm like, you can't do anything. Like, until they personally decide that that's what they want to do, it ain't happening, and it sucks.
And that goes with a lot of things.
Yeah,
Alcoholics,
100%.
drug addicts, everything.
Yeah, and I always say that at baseline, being overweight, and this is what I was going to talk about with the weight loss surgery. At baseline, being overweight and overeating, you are an addict. You are addicted to food. Our bodies are genetically programmed to like salty, fatty, sweet foods because they're looking to store energy for survival. You are a baseline addicted to that. So if you are having weight loss surgery and you don't learn how to control your own urges, you're going to fuck it up no matter what. And like that's what's fucked up about doctors who just do these surgeries for no reason is they don't train people in that. So you have to learn self-control before anything. And that's honestly the biggest key to losing weight is self-control.
They should be teaching what a protein, carb, and a fat is.
100%.
And how to read nutritional labels as opposed to, well, if you drop a little bit more weight, we could do the surgery.
Right.
Knowing that more than likely
and
it's
it's
going
true.
to fail.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Like, listen, and I'm not talking about like the extreme cases where like you see on TV, like my 600-pound life or whatever. Obviously, those people can't move. They need all the help they can get. But like when doctors are out there using that for like people who are like 100 pounds overweight who could definitely do it naturally if they learn discipline, it's screwed up, man. It really is.
But at the same time, if the doctor does the surgery, guess who gets paid?
100%. Yeah.
You know?
Well, isn't that what we'd say this a lot? Isn't that what the medical field really is?
Yeah.
As
No,
much
it is.
as I know, as I know, doctors are there to technically help you. They're also there to make money.
Yeah.
I saw a shocking article, which let's be honest, it's not the most shocking thing in the world when you really think about it. But I saw an article today that was getting passed around on Facebook, and it was doctors don't care about a cure for cancer because they're too busy making money on cancer, which is a factual statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
How unfortunate is that?
And listen, there are good doctors out there, so I don't want to be like,
I'm not trying to bash
doctors.
doctors.
This actually happened. I actually put up something on my, because obviously Facebook and Instagram are different. I can put up whatever I want on Instagram, and like pretty much people mind their own business because it's like a younger crowd. Facebook is just a miserable platform.
It's everybody that wants to debate shit. It's
I don't get
it.
it. So I put up something about like the medical industry, and people are like, "How dare you talk about doctors this way?" It's like, listen, I'm not talking about all doctors, but you can't deny that some doctors are obviously money driven. Like it's just,
of course.
But
of course.
What's funny? Even the people that got into the medical field because they said, you know what, I'm a smart guy and I want to make some good money. They're still probably morally perfectly fine people.
Right.
You take every doctor in the world that gives somebody, say, a sleeve surgery that might not need it.
Right.
I'm sure that's the 1 out of 100 cases that
No,
they didn't
absolutely.
necessarily need.
Right.
But 9 out of 10 times they're doing the right thing.
Right. Yeah.
They're doing what they can for people, but this time, you might not need it.
Right.
But then again, maybe getting a surgery is the push you needed to really start losing weight.
Yeah, no, and there's
a
a
fine
lot,
line.
there's
It's
a
a
lot of
real
people
fine
out
line.
there who have had success with surgery. I'm just like saying, like, there's definitely a lot of people that haven't though, because they never learn.
Oh,
Like,
of course not.
my mother's one
yeah.
of them. My mother has had it twice. Twice.
Which surgery?
Yeah.
She had the,
Because I don't know much. I
she
know the
had-
names of
she
them. I
had
don't know
the-
much about
She had the
them.
bypass, and then she had the sleeve. All right, and like, it's fun. Like me and my brother like always joke around. Like we're like, all right, like, because now we're at the point where we just don't believe anything she says because she'll be like, oh yeah, I had a headache, so I drank a Coke. Like, what planet are you on?
No, that's my grandparents. My grandparents did shit like that.
It's crazy,
My
man.
grandfather is 90 years old. He's in a nursing home now because he has dialysis and everything like that. And I want to get back to your point. However, it's funny because my entire life, my grandfather and my grandmother never drank any water.
It's crazy, right?
They would never drink any fucking water.
Yeah.
I'd be in the house and be like, "Hey, grandma, where's do you have any water? Oh, the sink, the tap's right over there."
Yeah.
I look in the fridge. It would be all sodas, all liter Coke and
Iced
Diet
tea.
Coke and the iced teas.
Yeah.
What are we drinking over
Yeah,
here?
no.
Even when I was younger, I'm just like looking at this. I'm like, this isn't going to quench my thirst. It's
Yeah,
going to make me more thirsty.
Well, they were-
So I get it.
Yeah, no, it's
They were,
crazy.
they were living when Coca-Cola was made of cocaine.
Yeah, that's why. That's why they were
They were
like, yo,
just-
stock
they were
up
on
on
a
the old
crazy
shit, on the
high.
old formula.
At that point, it would help you probably lose weight then.
Yeah, right.
That was the secret.
Yeah.
So now, what's the difference between the you said the bypass and the sleeve? I don't really know the
The
difference.
bypass is where they totally like cut out like your stomach, and they connect like your esophagus to like your like lower intestine. They leave like a small part of your stomach at the bottom. Where the sleeve is like they take a sleeve. It's like a plastic like bio whatever
compresses
plastic,
it, like
squeeze
and it
it.
compresses your stomach in.
So if you have both, that means that you already have a very small stomach to begin with.
Well,
and then they sleeve the smaller
What
piece.
happens is that doesn't last forever. If you don't take care of it, the stomach will. It's like any type of tissue. Like it'll stretch. So it stretches back to like the regular size of like a stomach or like whatever. Or, yeah.
And the sleeve is permanent then.
No, the sleeve you can have taken out.
Okay.
And then my other cousin had the band surgery where you adjust it. He blew that one, and then now he's on the sleeve too. Like I'm telling you, like my whole family is like overweight and has issues like with appetite and eating, all that stuff. But like I always say, you have to learn how to eat and control yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really portions for them? Is that what the issue is, or it's kind of like a binge almost, just all throughout the day, eating, night? Because
it's just like flavor. Oh man, that looks so good. And like, listen, I do the same shit. Like I see some
I
shit
do the
like
same
food,
shit,
like
we all do.
yeah, like food porn. You're like, oh man, I really want that so bad. But like, obviously, you've learned, as I've learned, like, yeah, listen, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I've had to unfollow all those accounts because otherwise I'll run out to 7-Eleven and start buying shit.
Yeah.
The trick is you got to watch those the Gordon Ramsay videos about the kitchen nightmares.
Yeah.
Where people are going, what the fuck are these people cooking?
Yeah.
You're serving out old pork and rusted chicken. It's going, what the fuck? I'm not eating out again. I'm just gonna cook my own food.
So now, how do they feel about you? Mm-hmm. How do they feel about seeing you drop all the weight and become, become somebody that's known not only as an officer but somebody who dropped so much weight?
They're
on
super
Instagram.
proud of me. Like they're super supportive. All that stuff. They're great. When it comes to that, I am just like one of those people where like I want to see what's best for them because I care about them. Yeah. So I'm like a little bit of like a tough love type of person. So like I always try to like motivate them and like be like, listen, I tell them how it is. I don't sugarcoat shit, even to anybody. Like I give it straight how it is because you're not doing anybody any favors by bullshitting them.
Never.
No matter what.
Never.
So
yeah.
I like that. I want to hear about dropping the weight, going to the academy. Obviously, you went back up in weight, and then how many years was that before you had the epiphany where you decided that it was time?
It was 9 years. I had
9 years in.
On, yeah.
And over the course of 9 years, did you ever have any issues on the job where your weight really affected you?
Oh man, like several times. Several times.
That was a question I got.
I can't even tell you. Like, and like you see the warning signs. So I was in the gang squad. This is like 2 years before I just even had the epiphany. I was in the gang squad in Manhattan, North Harlem. We did a search warrant on like a 3rd-story walk up, and like we had to walk up 3 flights of stairs and then hit the door. And like you're wearing at least like 70 pounds of gear on top of what I'm already weighing at the time, which was ridiculous. Hit the door and like let me tell you, and like when you do a search warrant, it's complete chaos. Like you got people running around, you got to handcuff people, you're trying to like all this stuff. So like you're already like whatever. When I tell you that I was dizzy, I literally didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Like it was like scary. Like I don't know how I didn't pass out. You know what I did right then? I went out and had pizza and ice cream.
Almost like a reward system for just going through with something.
Yeah, no, it's and it was like that a lot, And then like there's other like certain little things like like just being out of breath all the time. I was always the guy who drove the car because I was the fat guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like where somebody else would get out and run and like all this other stuff, but I was always the guy who like drove the car. All stuff like that.
Yeah, it must have made it really tough, especially in such a physical job, because I have a lot of cop friends that tell me, listen, you guys are dealing, most of the time, you guys are dealing with the scum of the earth. And you're dealing with the biggest pieces of shit in the world and people that obviously have no respect for themselves, so why would they show any respect to you guys and do what you tell them? So that's usually the big problem.
It is for sure difficult. That's for sure.
Yeah, I actually had 2 questions that I wanted to do, and then I kind of want to get into some of the stories you have, some stories you want to think back on. It doesn't have to be anything; it just be something that sticks out to you that might be out of the norm that I want to hear. But so these are actually messages from police officers that I know.
Okay.
So one of which was, "How do we fix the community hating us and the horrible morale in the department?"
Okay.
Yeah, I figured that.
How do we fix the community hating us? You can't.
Yeah.
That's just it, man. Like, and I this is an issue that I have when it comes to like all this, like, listen, all like the dance videos with cops and shit. Listen, man, I'm all about like appreciating the community and like having a community bond, but that does nothing because the people who disrespect us and don't like us aren't going to like us if we dance for them.
Yeah,
they're
not the ones sharing that video.
Right,
the people who are liking that are people who already like us. Like, we're not making any strides. The people who don't like us, for the most part, are people who are committing crimes and people who have family members that commit crimes. or people who have family members that have been arrested. And this is the problem, right? Now, you grow up in let's just say a bad neighborhood, right? A bad neighborhood or where you are taught your entire life since you were a child.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. The cops are the enemy. Yeah. Are the cops really going to change your mind? It's very difficult. Very rare instances can the cops actually change your mind. More importantly, more than anything, you have to do your job, do it well, be polite, and be not. It's like that. What is it? It's Dalton from Roadhouse. Be nice until it's time not to be nice. You know what I mean? And that's it. Be respectful, but at the same time, you got to do your job out there. Fixing the morale in the department. Oh, man.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. I mean, obviously, I'm not living it, but I've heard a lot from cop friends that it's not great right now.
No, it's definitely not. I think just be there for other cops, man. Like, be there for other cops, support them no matter what they're doing. Like, encourage cops to get hobbies and do things outside of the job. I think that is the only way to really do it, because the job itself is stressful, right? You're there. You just have to try to have a good sense of humor about everything. Try to stay as positive as you can, even though, listen, at times it really sucks. You know, like, they took my gun and shield from me once because I was under investigation, and, like, let me tell you something, it sucked. Like, plus internal affairs, like, pretty much, like, what they'll do to you, even if it's not serious, they'll pretty much convince you that your life is over. Like, it sucks, man. Like, so don't sweat the small stuff. Like, guys on the job will know what I'm talking about when I say this. CDs, negative crafts, like, all that stuff, that's bullshit. Unless they're, like, firing you or, like, putting you in handcuffs and, like, walking to your central booking, dude, don't worry about shit. The other stuff is not serious. You just got to come to work every day, try to enjoy what you can, even if it's not, like, what you're doing at work, enjoy the people around you. You know what I mean? Like, share stories, hang out, like, talk about stuff. Like I said, support each other. And, like, I think, honestly, that's a big problem is, like, a lot of guys on the job don't support each other. And Casey talked about this, too, is, like, you got something going for you. Mike talks, no donuts. Me and him are pretty good friends. But same thing, like, dudes don't like us just because we're doing something different. And I think that's, like, a huge problem. No matter what it is. Like, if you see a guy, like, dude, Mike, right? No donuts. The guy was on the cover of Iron Man magazine. Like, that's a good look for all of us, as a department. Like, you should be proud of that. You should be proud of how he made us look. But guys can't get around that. You got to be proud for the people around you. Be happy for the people around you. It's the only way it's going to get better is you have to improve, like, the culture between us.
Yeah, you were talking about on Instagram, and obviously I didn't understand the reference, but you were talking about, like, people being rats and shit like that in the department, like ratting each other out.
Oh my God.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay, so if you're a cop and you're committing a crime, by all means, I'm telling you right now, take out the handcuffs yourself and lock them the fuck up. I'm not talking about that, okay? You rat those motherfuckers out. I don't want those people working on my job. That's number one. But, like, when it comes to, like, I don't know, some guy, the CO likes some guy better than you and he got a day off and you didn't, now you're calling internal affairs, dude, you're a bitch. I'm sorry. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's the type of shit that destroys morale. And I'm telling you, it happens a lot. It's small little stuff like that happens a lot.
Just petty jealousy.
Yeah, petty jealousy. Like,
well, that could also be said about why they don't like Mike, or you, because they are jealous of you guys getting attention for the right reasons and not just the usual flack that cops usually get.
Right. I mean, for the most part, listen, to my face, I'm fine. Who cares what people say about behind my back? Like, that's another thing is, like, you just have to not care what people think about you, regardless. No matter what you do in life, whether you're a cop or not, like, who gives a shit? You really have to just do what you want to do. And I say that, specifically to cops. Like, cops are so hardcore worried about people judging them that, cops know, like, okay, let's say this. Suicide, right? Suicide is so high among cops. I think cops are so much more worried about what other cops will have to say about them seeking help that they don't do it. I think that's a huge problem. And it's true. Like, cops are very judgmental of each other. I think that's part of a huge reason that morale is very low.
It's interesting. It's an angle you never hear about that.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mental health is huge. I hear so much about how important it is for everybody to not only vent and talk about what they deal, because my cousin's husband, every time cops come up, he usually comes up in my mind and my thoughts. You know, he deals with so much shit at work, especially before he was in plain clothes doing fraud.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, and he just passed the sergeant's test.
Oh, nice. Good. Yeah.
But
it's much better. Tell him like.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take it for years because I was always like, F that. Like, I don't want to be in charge of anybody and all that stuff. I don't want to be a boss. I don't know how much time he has on, but I'm telling you,
he's got a bunch. He's waiting for the call now.
He's got a bunch of time on already.
Yeah,
in the job. All right, so
I would say at least since 2011.
So he'll have a great time because he knows the job inside and out, and he's already been there. It's good.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, anything that takes you out of just the usual grunt work of just bullshit all the time,
absolutely,
because that alone will wear down your morale and make everything you feel miserable on a daily basis. I'm sure. I mean, I can't attest to it because I don't do it.
Yeah,
I wanted to become a cop, but I don't know. Looking more into it, I knew it wasn't for me.
And it's funny because I listened obviously I re-listened to Casey's podcast, and like it's funny, like I remember him saying that, you know, if you like, because I became a cop for 100% the wrong reasons. Like I was just like I could do that, and Casey said the same thing pretty much. Like I became a cop for the wrong reasons. I became a cop for the wrong reasons, but then like eventually when I did it, like I started to love it. You know what I mean? And like it started to be like, you know, it started to be like a positive thing in my life, right? Exactly. So I think it could work both ways. And also, what else was I going to say? Something about that, but I don't know. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
I have a lighthearted question.
Sure.
For you that's not like specifically about this. I have one that said, "What's worse, to get tased or pepper spray?"
I've never been tased. I have been pepper sprayed though, and it sucks. Honestly, I'm gonna go out. I'm just gonna say this straight out. I think pepper spray is like the most useless thing on the planet. Like,
really?
Yeah. There isn't a time where it gets pulled out where a cop doesn't get sprayed. So it's...
Oh, yeah, because it goes everywhere.
Yeah, it goes absolutely everywhere. Especially if you're outside, whatever. But if you're in an enclosed space, everybody's getting it. And like...
Is that why they spray you guys in the academy?
I never got sprayed in the academy either.
My buddy got sprayed in the academy.
Oh, really?
He went down to Florida. He's like,
oh, yeah. Down there, they'll do it.
He's like, it's getting sprayed day. And,
and they should do it.
Yeah, later in the afternoon, he sends me a photo of his eyes. He goes, if a cop ever pulls out pepper spray and tells you to get on the ground, get the fuck on the ground.
Yeah.
And his eyes are all like slanted and like in, and you couldn't even see.
God.
It's hysterical.
But there's some people, though, pepper spray don't work. I pepper sprayed a guy once, and he was like, "Yeah, it tastes like lemon pepper." Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Yeah.
I would have been like, oh,
You're like, all right.
Those are two things you don't want in your eyes, though.
Yeah.
could you imagine? I couldn't even imagine that. Like, I'm trying to take a dude down, my little ass. I'm just over here, and he's eating the pepper spray.
Yeah,
up.
no, it was,
my God, where are you
it
from?
was bizarre, man.
Oh God, are you one of the Martians that Elon Musk brought back from the colony? I had another serious question.
Yeah,
Sure.
What still motivates you to be a cop, even with all the negative press that you guys are getting?
Okay. When it comes to the media, you got to remember, no matter what topic it is, they're going to find the most extreme people that they could find to get unfortunately, regular media is run by social media now. So if they're not causing controversy, if they're not getting clicks, if they're not getting likes, if they're not getting shares, they're not getting shit. Mm-hmm. So they got to come up with the most controversial things to talk about. So they take the minority of whatever side and they amplify it to make you feel and think that everybody out there feels that way. But in my personal experience, it's the silent majority that supports us, who doesn't speak up. And like, I hate to get into politics, but this is the reason that Trump got elected. Nobody could come out there and, like, I'm not saying I support one side either way, but nobody could come out and say that they like him without being totally crucified. And it's the same way with the cops. Like, you can't come out and be like, hey, I kind of like the cops on social media without, like,
Backlash
people. Oh, my God, forget it.
Shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, everyone has something to say about something. Like Jamal and I were talking about it last week. We were going back and forth with experiences with officers. And listen, I was always taught, respect officers.
Yeah.
Do what you're told. Even if my mom said, if you ever get arrested, she goes, we deal with it later.
Yeah.
Put the cuffs on, shut your mouth, and that's it. And obviously, I've never had that happen. But that's, to me, what most of the people we're seeing aren't doing. And that's why the most extreme parts come out.
Yeah. And, like, I'm not one of those people, like you could see from my social media things I've talked about. I'm not one of those people who's like, yeah, every cop out there is good. If you say that, you are stupid. Yeah, you are stupid. You are lying. You are naive. There's bad cops out there. Cops have historically done some really bad, stupid, fucked up shit. 100%. So you could see why some of the people out there, some of the communities out there don't like us. Mm-hmm. But I could also say that I personally have never worked with a racist or corrupt cop in my entire 13 years on the job. Okay?
And that's saying something.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So it does go both ways. Like, but for you to deny that like bad shit goes on out there, like, come on, man, you can't do that.
There's nothing to do with being a cop. It's if you're an asshole, you're still an asshole.
Right, 100%.
That's it. That's
now you're an asshole who has power. You give them a little bit of power, and they turn into like super asshole.
That's what I was going to say.
Right?
The amount of cops that I know that are
that.
Yeah, the amount of cops that I know that become cops out of high school just because they have no other options and they just want to feel that power trip and they're douchebags to begin with. Those are the ones that are the assholes, and that you shake your head when you see them and you're just like, why are you a cop, man?
Yeah. No,
you're really the one to uphold the law.
Right. I've seen people who are cops, obviously, who like probably should not be. You know, it's just one of those things.
Did you have another question for him?
Yeah, let me see what I got.
Yeah, because I know you don't want to keep it too close to the mic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I see that. That's best practice. Sometimes it gives interference.
Like an echo?
Yeah.
Like just like electrical, you hear like a little hiss, and it drives me. Any other sound besides our voices when I'm listening to this before I upload it drives me mental.
That's how I feel. Any voice I hear besides my own drives me fucking mental.
Don't become a cop, John.
I just want to add one more thing about like how to still like do your job positively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please.
Listen, it comes back to what I said earlier. You just have to not give a shit what people think about you. Like, you have a job. You are like. And it's funny. They talked about this. I listen to Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys listen to Joe Rogan, but
absolutely.
He was with Rob Zombie, and he talked about you are a professional enemy. You wear the uniform of a professional enemy to a lot of these people, and like you have to understand, like that's how you're always going to be looked at. I have always had a thick skin. It comes from, I don't know, I was bullied as a kid, so like you could say anything to me, it don't bother me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you have to have a thick skin and just be like, it is what it is. This is the job I took, and I don't give a shit if people like me or not. And you just gotta keep doing good work.
Right. Well, something I say a lot too is people care so much about what everybody thinks about them. Everybody
it's
likes
crazy.
you, but nobody even likes themselves.
100%.
As simple as that, man. So, how old are your kids?
I have a 6-year-old, and my son will be 2 in a couple months, like in a month.
Right. So this might not really apply, but it says, have your kids noticed the change? And if so, what do you have to say about it? So let's turn that more into
they were probably real small.
what can you teach your kids later on about your lifestyle change? Like, what was it like to turn your whole life around to teach your kids?
Yeah, I mean, I eventually will teach my kids. I'm definitely not now, because my kids are both in the phase of like where only eat like certain shit, which is obviously not healthy for you.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm not one of those parents who pretends like, oh, my kid eats out of a bento box and all this crap. Like, I don't, my kids eat chicken nuggets and like all that stuff. And like if they don't eat that, it's not like they'll eat something else. No, they won't eat. They will starve themselves and not eat. So like, eventually when they become older, like I will teach them about nutrition, and I'll tell them all about like how important it is to take care of yourself. One good thing I have to say though is like what, my kids did, both of them do that I definitely didn't do as a kid, and you talked about it before, is drink water. Like kids nowadays, I feel like they grow up drinking water. I can only imagine like what the studies will look like in the future. Just drinking water from an early age extends your lifespan. You know what I mean?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does, but half of them is shortened by vaping every fucking day.
Oh yeah, no.
Jesus Christ. Is that a state of emergency for us yet? Because it was for Boston, right? They shut it down totally.
I know for us, they already limited the sale of flavored ones.
Yeah.
So now it's just unflavored and like menthol and tobacco flavors, I believe.
Okay.
What do you guys? I got a question. What do you guys do if you see somebody vaping but you don't know if it's marijuana or like besides the smell? Is there something that they tell you guys to look out for?
Here's the thing. Marijuana is pretty much legal in New York City.
Okay.
Like, if it's a summons. So like if somebody is smoking weed and you're not sure, is it really you're a cop, right? You're supposed to enforce the law, but you don't have to enforce every law. That's also another thing is like, dude, people are people, man. We were all not cops once. Like, you don't got to be a hard-on for everybody, And like, listen, I have a lot of arrests. I've arrested like quite a few people. But at the same time, I've let 10 times that go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to not be a... And same thing with that. Like, if you see a guy vaping and you're not sure, like, is it worth even approaching somebody when you're not sure?
I was always curious if that was like something that cops looked out for or anything like that.
No.
Like, I mean, I don't smoke, so it's not like anything that I do. So it's... I have a lot of friends that use the pens, though, and they walk around. I'm just like, what if you get... I've always had that in the back of my mind. What happens if somebody catches you doing that? Is that anything?
Personally, like, well, I mean, technically, if you want to get technical about it, it's actually not even considered marijuana. It's considered a controlled substance because it's concentrated cannabis, which is like hash oil. Yeah, so it's like a little bit different of a charge there.
A little more serious.
Yeah, but still
fuck it.
Nonsense, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, the only time I've ever come across it is like if you do a search warrant or like you're like searching through somebody's car and you find it and you're like, oh shit, whatever. But dude, I'm not looking for that.
Yeah, so, even still.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you had more, right? You had more.
Yeah, it was a lot of little ones. It was like
yeah, I want to get these little ones and I want to hear some stories, man. That's why.
Start with the story. Let me pull them up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Just like what? Crazy things? Funny things?
Anything. I want to hear anything. What's something that stuck out to you? Just one specific incident or altercation, anything that has stuck out to you over the years.
Man, it's so funny that my mind is just like immediately drawn to like really sad, screwed up shit. Is like one time I responded to a thing where like a girl, she was pregnant, she gave birth to the baby in a bucket.
Oh, gosh.
And then stored the bucket next door in like an abandoned construction site for like months. But then I guess felt guilty that it was there in the bucket for months. So she took it back into her house in the closet and it was like covered in air fresheners. And finally, like, you go like 6 months later and like the mom's like, yo, the closet smells. I don't know what's going on. Like, you got to check this out. And sure enough, we opened up the bucket and there was like a skeleton of a dead baby. That shit was fucked up. Like, I still think about that shit every day, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's probably like.
How do you block shit like that out of your mind, though?
You can't. You can't all the time. It's impossible. It's impossible.
You can't even do it. You can't even.
When you ask that question, I'm thinking like horror stories of pulling somebody over. That's just. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it's bad, man. Like, dude, cars flipped over. Like 3 people died. Like, this was like when I was a rookie too.
Yeah, I heard you see some shit when you're a rookie.
Car flipped over. Yeah. Car flipped over. They were like drag racing. I remember it was like a black Dodge Charger SRT8 going too fast around a corner, flipped over, killed everybody inside of it, man. It was like brutal. Like, it was like a brutal scene. Was it 3 years ago? I pulled over a car. Pretty much the front 2 passengers, they were fine. The rear passenger tried to run out of the car with a gun. And this is like a 97 Honda Civic, and me, and then at that time I was still 425 pounds. Mm-hmm. Me and him are in the back seat wrestling over a gun. Like, he's got it pointed at my face trying to pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't like, unless I grabbed the top of the gun, I'd surely be dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin's husband, he's definitely changed over the years. You could tell. There's a difference. It's not... Yeah.
100%. And this is exactly what happened, right? So on top of being overweight, I was a very negative, miserable fucking person. Like, because I let everything, the job, all that shit, stress me out. It wasn't until I started working out and like realizing what really matters and what you should actually care about and get stressed out about that I was just like, fuck it, man. Why am I letting this shit bother me? I do it with everything. If I feel myself start to get like annoyed at something, I'm like, wait a second, what do I give a shit about this for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you really have to do that. You have to change that mindset. It's almost like the whole thing. Like, you get up for work, and you're like, fuck, man, I don't want to go to work. And you're like, nowadays I go up, I'm like, yeah, man, I can't wait to get to work because like I like the guys I work with. Like, you just try to have to find something, even if you don't think it exists out there. Like, there's something about going to work that you like. I don't care if it's the fucking when you get the car with the good air conditioning or something. You know what I mean? Like,
something.
You have to like try, or like you know, there's a place that you go to get coffee every day. Like, something, you have to make something there that you enjoy. Otherwise, you're just gonna be miserable. Or I tell people this: if they really fucking hate it, you have to leave. You have to quit. It's not worth like your mental well-being. And Casey's a perfect example. Mm-hmm. I actually messaged him last night. I told him how proud of him I was. Like seriously, like legit. Like
That's nice.
if you feel like you need to walk away from this job, no pension is worth like the psychological damage being somewhere for 20, 25 years can do to you. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I had a lot of people judge him on that move, and
That's fucking
yeah.
honestly, that's crazy. And I told him, I was like, yo, honestly, it pisses me off.
Yeah,
And like, but that also obviously I listen, like your whole thing with Apple, like you taking a risk doing all this and like doing video and stuff is like most people don't want to take that risk. They want safety. You know what I mean? They don't want to do, and it comes from like they wish it was them. They wish it was them. But they're scared to do it. And that's exactly what it comes down to. They're scared to try anything different or do anything new because A, of what other people will think about them, and B, like what if they fail? What if they fuck it up? All this stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's your life. Like you are here for a finite number of years. People think that you're here forever. You're not. Like you have to like enjoy what you do and enjoy your life and money, pension, stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But if you hate it, you gotta leave.
yeah.
Those are the same people that buy lottery tickets too. You know what I mean? They want exactly what. Let's say the two of us, for example, we've risked to get to where we are today, doing the different things we do. By no means are we on the normal path of society.
Right.
Then they look at us and go, "Well, it's not fair. You got that. Yeah, it is, motherfucker. I took the risk that you were afraid to take.
100%.
I took the hours invested into learning how to do it.
Right.
Like you had no idea how to pick up a fucking camera when you started this.
Dude,
Look what we have going on
two
now.
and a half years ago, man. 2.5. It'll be 3 years in January, February that I picked a camera up, and 3 years next May that I've been shooting video. It's a little over a year that I've been on my own. I was always a retail associate or a sales associate, so I always had.
Dude, and that's amazing because like legit, like not like blowing smoke, like you're really good, like really good.
Appreciate it. Seriously, it means a lot.
Yeah.
I try to. My biggest thing for me is there's so many guys that do video, and my whole thing is so many people copy each other's style and they swagger jack off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want my shit to look like anyone
But I'm
else's.
telling you right now, I don't remember what video specifically it was, but I saw somebody took your video and like made their own video with it, and I could immediately tell that it was your shit. You know what I mean? Like that's how like stylistically different that you are than a lot of people, and I think that's very important.
Well, it means a lot. Seriously. Yeah.
Thanks.
What's his name? Whenever Machiavelli uses my footage a lot.
It might have been.
He always hits me up,
Yeah.
I mean, and he always tags me, which is dope. But I have because of Arash, I have so many people in the Middle East that hit me up all the time. And I'll just get tagged in a random video, and it'll be them doing a voiceover in like Arabic or Farsi, whatever the language that they're speaking in.
Right.
And all of a sudden it'll just be like, oh, there's my footage. Yeah, I just took it right off my video on Instagram.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care. It is what it is. As long as you throw credit, as long as you say what it is.
Right. No, absolutely.
But for me, like I said, there's so many guys that just copy each other because it's so easy to just watch another dude's video.
Right. 100%.
Watch his tutorial that he gave on that video and then just do exactly the same shit.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the case because then you lose your style and your edge and
100%.
what makes you unique. And, you know, that could be said for a lot of things in life, in taking risk and doing it all. You want to have your own path. You don't want to have to walk down a path that somebody else carved for you already.
Right.
But, yeah, that's
People
what-
want to have it easy, and that the same thing. Like that's why cops who aren't willing to take the risk that, like, let's say Mike took or Casey took, or like me on a very much smaller scale, cops look at that and they're like, "Yo, fuck this guy! Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is?"
Mike's still on the force, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I haven't really spoken to Mike in a while.
No, I talk to him. I don't know, like every other day or so.
Yeah, Mike's good people, man.
No, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
He
when
really
I
is.
spoke to him when I shot that video with you guys,
Yeah.
he was telling me how much hate he was getting, and he was getting a lot back then.
Dude, it's true, man. Like, he's told me some crazy things, man. Like, I don't want to get into it because it's his life.
Yeah,
but,
you don't
like,
have to. Maybe we'll have him on. Have him come down.
Things that would like, oh my god, like, bro, I can't.
Well, listen, there's a lot of reasons for somebody to be jealous of Mike. He's a good-looking dude. He's in fucking sick shape.
Right.
And he's you know what I'm saying? Like, what they call the hot cop, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? You got another cop that's not as good-looking or something like that, that's looking at that from the outside. Then they get start to feel some kind of way about him. So I'm not putting any justification to them treating him badly or acting like an asshole towards him.
Yeah, but it comes with the territory.
Yeah, I mean,
Same thing with me. Like, it comes with the territory. Like, people will drop comments on my shit sometimes, and like, I just have the attitude, like, all right, delete, block. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't engage with people with negative stuff. Like,
No, it's not worth it.
No, it's stupid. you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to, like, the same thing back to, like, you know, like policing. Like, you're not going to change their mind. Like, why bother?
Yeah, and at the same time, people are going on those comments to leave good things about you. You don't want them to sift through bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You want them to leave something positive, and so you can go, you know, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best too. Not, oh, I hate you. You're fat. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
I saw, you know, I'm not after seeing the second allegation, I'm definitely not a fan of him, but Antonio, I'm a Patriot fan. Antonio Brown came on the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
And he put up something, you know, like a post, and I just agree with it, you know, and I just said, yo, man, bless up, you know, hope all is good, blah, blah. And then, of course, the commenters start trashing me. Oh, he's a clown, he's a clown. Like, 2 people said it to me. I got like 100 likes on his post from like random people, and then all those people were trashing those people. Only fucking clowns are you for trying to. And I said to them, I said, listen, you're more than welcome to have your opinion on what he's going through, who he is as a person. You can call him a douchebag, you can call him a clown, whatever you want to call him. I said, but you have no idea what this dude's dealing with on a day-to-day basis just because he's in the spotlight.
100%.
It doesn't mean that he's invincible or different than anybody else. It just means that he's a little bit more well-known. And everybody started trashing the people that were going against me on the post. They're like, fuck you guys. You're the clowns, not this kid, blah, 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 this and that. I'm just like, it's amazing how people just want to say negative shit.
Yo, it's one of my things. Is like, I don't know what possesses people to go on someone else's page to talk shit, or to, even worse than that, follow somebody they don't like to talk shit. I have no idea. I've never put that much effort into not liking somebody or in my entire life. Who's got the energy for that? I genuinely, I've said this before, I genuinely feel bad for people like that. Like, they're just consumed with, like, I think it's self-hate, like, honestly, that they have to outward project towards everybody. I just don't get it. It's just something I'm glad that I never had. Like, even as, like I said, I wasn't always, like, the most positive person. I was a very negative person. Even as negative as I was, I never did shit like that, thank God.
Because the people that do that, that's all they have going on for the day.
It's crazy, man. Yeah,
That's the problem. That was the highlight of their day right there. Leaving a mean comment about Nick on some football player's post.
Yeah, it wasn't
They
even
don't go, fuck. That was...
Yeah.
It's like, you really think that your clown emoji is making my day any worse?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, I walked outside. I went, man, that dude called me and Antonio Brown a clown. Holy shit! I hope Antonio notices and hits me up for a fucking video.
Yeah.
I hit it. I real quick, like just like sly. I hit his video guy up, Antonio Brown's.
Yeah.
Like just on the sly. I was just like, hey man, what do you charge for a video? He's like $7,000 a day. I went, oh, okay.
All right.
I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, huh, you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know, $7,000 a day, good, but you're good, man. I was like, fuck. I was like, shit. Do I have to reevaluate my prices?
There you go.
But no, he
should.
But yeah, listen, man. We talk about it a lot, and it resonates well. Resonates really strongly with me. With good vibes only.
Right. Yeah.
That saying goes a long way for me. The last couple of months for me have been very, very crazy. From being upset with the business for a little while because I was getting some changes from the fitness industry now to other industries, which has been a blessing, and I love it. It's so great.
Okay.
But at first, you resist change. I'm used to shooting fitness videos. I'm used to doing this. Now all of a sudden it's going to switch up on me, and I'm going to have to start doing other industries, and it kind of freaked me out at first. But then I learned to embrace it. Then I got sick. Then we had to put the dog down.
Yeah.
Then from there, I broke up with my ex. Like, just it was a whirlwind of just me being negative, and just that mindset was just festering. And then I decided to lose the weight, and then I started dropping, feeling better.
Yeah.
We started the podcast, started taking off. Then I decided I need to get the fuck out of my house and get an office. It was driving me nuts. I say it the exact same way every time because it's like funny, but it's not. Like, I was going nuts, waking up, rolling out of bed, and just sitting at that setup right there all day until I went to the gym where I had a shoot. I'd come right back home and I'd sit right back down, and I could never relax. I'd have people hitting me up at 1 a.m. midnight. Hey, when's that video going to be done? Hey, what about this? What about that? And it would just drive me fucking nuts. So now having a separation of work and home has been the best godsend I could have ever had. Because being able to come here, get work done, and go home and people hit me up, sorry, not at the office now.
Yeah, exactly.
I will get back to it tomorrow.
Yep.
Instead of me looking at my computer in the corner of my room going, I guess I got to edit now. I don't want to do that anymore.
Because you feel pressure.
I've been going home, walking with my mom, and going to bed. I haven't done that in over a year.
It's important to take that time, man. And
you probably. I mean, for you guys need to really reset.
Yeah.
How often do you get days off?
I work a steady thing, so I work 5 days on, 2 days off. But like, there's some people that work in like really busy commands. Like my commands are like it's not like that busy. But like, there's some people working busy commands that they don't get days off for like 3 weeks in a row. They like get hit up for overtime every single day, dude. Like it's bullshit, honestly. And like,
is it really them trying to get overtime, or is it just
no? They get mandated overtime. Like especially right now, you have the UN over the summer. You have all these like details, like West Indian Day parade, like all these parades, all this shit. And like that comes down to like one of the things that the job does that does kill morale is like, dude, you got to give you guys time off. And as a boss, as a sergeant, like if my guys come to me and need a day off, I make sure that I get it for them. And I think that's my message to all the supervisors out there. Make sure your guys make sure you give them time off. Make sure you approve it. Make sure you do whatever you can to get these guys time off with their families, or just even a day off just to like not be there. They need it. Like seriously, they really do for their health, everything.
Mental health, especially. I'm sure
100%.
It always makes for a better employee too.
Yeah, you feel imagine being at like one place like 3 weeks in a row, no days off. You feel like you're in jail, man. Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
I get it. Trust me, man.
Yeah.
And listen, what I explain to people is, when I used to show up, get paid for my time, and leave and go home. Same thing with people that have a 9 to 5, or listen, police work, yes and no. You should take a lot of that home with you and shit like that. But I would argue with people. I'd be like, listen, I need a break, but you also have to remember, unless I'm shooting or I'm editing,
you're not getting paid.
I'm not getting paid. There is no money being made at all. And because it all rests on my shoulders, there was a time when I was shooting for at least 8 to 12 days straight.
Oh, man.
That's 8 to 12 different projects that now every day, hey, where's the video? Hey, when can we expect the photos? Hey, when can we expect this? Have you taken a look at this yet? And not only do I have to do that, but because I'm everything as of now, I'm looking to hire people down the line, obviously, but I'm sending invoices. I'm sending out contracts. I'm making sure these contracts and invoices are signed before I start any more work.
Yeah.
I'm following up with overpaid or overdue invoices, and when are they going to pay me on money that's due? I'm scheduling new shoots down the line. I'm getting ready, prepping gear, updating, and making sure all of my footage is off the camera onto a hard drive, and editing on top of all that.
Jeez.
So, like, trust me when I say it'll drive you absolutely fucking nuts if you don't have a break from work.
You have to.
No matter how much you love something, it becomes work.
Absolutely.
People tell me that all the time. They say, oh, you love videos. You love that. No, you're 100% correct. However, it becomes a chore and it becomes work.
And you resent it.
And especially in my field, you lose your creativity.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to pump a video out. Like, okay, I just got to get this off my desk because I can't look at this anymore and I can't hear this fucking person bitching at me anymore. And it's crazy. And I tell people, anybody who works with me multiple times now, they know. Don't bother Nick. He will.
You shouldn't anyway. I mean.
No, I know.
But everybody thinks they're the center of the universe.
Right. No, 100%.
That's the only video that you have to do.
Well, they watch my stories.
Yeah.
They watch my stories. They see me at the gym in the morning. They see me doing podcasts. They see me doing, and they go, "Oh, he's not working on my video. He's not working." I'm working on in between. I don't show my entire fucking day.
Right. Yeah.
I do, but I don't. I show parts.
Yeah.
You show the parts that need marketing.
Yeah, just the fun stuff. Like, I've told this to a couple clients. You think like when I used to, and I haven't done this in a while. I used to grandstand every single shoot that I went on. So like I'd be like pre-shoot vibes, and it'd be in my car with some music on. That's great. However, like after a while, to be marketing every single thing that I'm going on and throwing it. I just want to hear the people that are like, well, you're shooting again. Where's my video? Where's this? Where's that? Where's that? So now I started to like scale back on behind the scenes of work.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking nuts, man.
No,
People be hitting me
course.
up. You wouldn't believe the
because
audacity.
they don't understand like the actual time and effort that goes into like doing something, like making videos like that. And like, listen, I can make videos, not obviously not on your level whatsoever, but like even like the stupid videos that I make like take a ton of time, man. Like, it's crazy. Like people just don't get it, man.
Someone hits me up. They're like, "Yeah, I want this title changed." Okay, that's about 45 minutes to an hour more of work.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I gotta move it around, get a new font, change it up, re-export it, upload it to
People
Google
have really
Drive.
complained about that
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
in the bodybuilding industry.
Different industries, but yes, and I've heard it all, man.
You never know.
I've
I've
heard and seen it all, man. And I
I
post
can only imagine.
for only 2 years in, man. It's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
It's taught me a lot about what I want to work with, for, and who.
Right,
You know.
exactly.
Even when I got the opportunity with Kai, and I was shooting Kai for a little while. But his manager was like, "Oh, yo, we want you to come in full time, and you know how you're looking to move out at some point. You're looking to maybe move closer to Brooklyn so we can start shooting here more." I'm like, "Whoa!" I said, "Relax, man." I said, "I don't know if I want to work with you guys." And he like very taken back, like they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, and I've not liked working with them.
Yeah.
You guys may be the same.
You told me about that whole
Yeah,
thing.
you guys may be the same. I don't know. I have to see. We may not vibe well. That's what I
Right.
do now. I get vibes. If someone's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
and you know, you can feel it in your stomach. If someone's a good person,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But the people that I've had issues with, I won't work with again. I just don't want to.
I don't blame you either. Yeah, you told me all about that.
Yeah, that'll go.
Like,
That'll go unnamed.
unmentioned. Yeah,
Unmentioned,
yeah.
unnamed.
Yeah.
Because there's been a bunch of them, but.
Yeah. It's just bullshit, man. Like, whatever.
Well,
Then everybody wants something for nothing, especially like you, like running a company. Like everybody wants something for nothing, man.
Yeah.
It's just like
You know, that's another thing too. Is
it's crazy, dude.
well, now that we've become tight, he hears it all.
yeah.
Oh, God.
For fuck's sake! When I came in here this morning, not this morning, but before the podcast. This is a podcast. It's an audio platform. We put everything on YouTube too. I walked in and there's these two gigantic lights set up to ensure the light quality of the video footage for the audio program.
Yeah, you can see a fucking corner of it in the goddamn video. See, I didn't frame it properly. God damn you. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But yeah, man.
It's insane how much time, effort, and money goes into this.
Yeah.
So when somebody says, "Oh, what do you mean you can't do it for $300?" You want $300? Sure. I'll get a fucking sketch pad. I'm gonna draw you lifting up a weight, and here you go.
Right, exactly.
You know, I had somebody hit me up.
You want a $300 video? I'll make you a $300 video.
There you
It's
go.
just
Well,
gonna be
That's
terrible.
actually what I've done that in the past too, and I won't promote it at all. I won't put it on my page because I'm not
Right.
proud of it, and I had to do it the way they could budget it and the timing that it would take to do it.
Right.
You know, I tell people that do videos, I tell them on average a video maybe will take me a minute edit between finding music, sorting through everything, doing everything, maybe 6 to 12 hours for a 1 minute video because of how much I hone in on it and I
Yeah, you
do
gotta
little
make-
details. And I have some people go, "Oh, it only takes me 3 hours to do that." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "All right, well, that's you. You're coming to me for a reason." Or they hit me up and they go, "Oh, my video guy's busy for this Thursday or this Wednesday. Can you come in?" And I'm just like, "Well, what does he charge? Oh, he's only charged me $200 for the video." And okay, well, what do you want me to do? That $200 is going to cover my gas, my travel out to you and then back.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little too much. Well, then go talk to your other guy. Why are you hitting me up?
100%, right.
Don't fucking hit me
Exactly.
up. It comes down to just being a human being and understanding that I don't get time. I put up something recently with being self-employed. I don't get time off. I don't get paid vacation. I don't get sick time. I don't have fucking health insurance. Anybody watching this, if you want to fight me, don't. I don't have health insurance. I can't afford it. I can't. I really can't. I can't afford any fucked up teeth or broken anything. So for me, when I give a price for a video or I give a price for photos or anything like that, and there's any type of pushback, I used to go back and forth. Now I just go, "Hey, best of luck. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for thinking of me, but going forward,
exactly.
Unless we can
100%.
come to terms with the budget, then it's not going to work with us."
It's the same thing with my clientele. You know what I mean? I do what I do for a reason. I'm thankfully very good at what I do because I've been practicing for so long, and I have a busy schedule. So if somebody can't pay my rates, I'm sorry. I want to help everybody in the world. That's why I do YouTube. That's why I promote as much as I can on Instagram and the podcast and try to shoot up bits of information here and there like I did in the beginning of this one too. But my hour's my hour. That still cost me that time. It's like when somebody doesn't show up and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I refuse to book before," because I'm in prep right now, it's different. But in the off season, I will not book before 6 a.m. Not a chance. 6, 7 a.m., not happening. Because for me to get to the gym at, say, 7 a.m. even, right? I have to get up at 4:35 to have breakfast, to get to the get my shit together, and then drive to the gym. So if I get up at 5:30 to meet you at 7, and you slept in and go, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I'd be
You
so pissed.
That's my point.
Oh man.
I've had
That's my point.
I've had people cancel videos on me the day before I did contracts or the morning of.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, man. And you're gonna throw me like 100? Just throw me something. Throw me something for having to change my time around now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Like,
Does anything amaze you anymore though? Because like,
no,
you know,
absolutely not, man.
because you've seen the worst of society.
We're
Yeah.
taking everything we tell them. We go, I've seen worse.
No. I mean, you just learn a lot about people from being a cop. And like before I was a cop, I was a bouncer. So like all I've done for like the last like 20 years is just like watch people. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people are.
You and Gunther should trade stories. Because he's got some, John Gunther, the Mohawk from the gym,
Oh, yeah,
Viking
yeah,
cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these stories that he
Yeah.
has from bouncing. 'Cause he
Yeah.
bounces all around Huntington and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh nice.
So I got a question. When you were a bouncer, what were some of the worst fake IDs you ever saw?
I mean, you could tell right away. There was some of them like they came like they were like not even. I saw a New York ID that like we live in New York. Everybody who lives there has a New York license. Like you get this New York ID. It's like a piece of plastic that's like not even written like correctly. Like I don't know. They're really bad, man. Like, you see a lot of bad shit.
Did you deal with a lot of people trying to fight you as a bouncer?
No, the places
Look at 'em.
the places I worked were.
Dude,
Yeah,
you'd be shocked.
true.
They go after, sometimes they go
No,
after,
they-
and it's guys my fucking
Yeah,
size.
they do.
I mean, dudes that I know that I've seen that are 5'7" that go after Gunther and shit. I'm like, what are you
That's insane.
doing, bro?
That's
You're looking
insane.
bad for all of us.
Yeah.
They
All of
do.
us short dudes.
Alcohol is like this is why I mean this is a whole other thing. I don't really like. I'll have a beer or two, but I don't really like drink.
You don't want to
because
overindulge.
and that comes from my dad was a fucking big time alcoholic. Number one, number
too.
two,
Yep.
like
Oh, three of us. Huh?
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen what booze does to people from being a bouncer, being a cop. Like I'm just not into it, man. Like listen, whatever anybody wants to do, I don't care. You want to do drugs responsibly, you want to drink responsibly, whatever. As long as you're doing it behind closed doors, I don't care. I don't care what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not that guy, But it's just not for me. And like alcohol just gets people crazy, man. They want to fight anybody. They want to fight the universe. They throw
Which is amazing to me because I'm not. I've sent some fucking snaps out. Obliterated. Obliterated. I'm never trying to fight anybody. I'm like still overly respectful. I'm just like even bumping through crowds at clubs and shit. I'm just like, hey man, excuse me, my bad, brother, my bad. But then you get the fucking dudes that are just like throwing their shoulders at everybody when they walk by. What are you doing?
Well,
Where
that's
did
what
you
happens.
learn
is,
this
like,
shit?
I've always been like a happy drunk, whatever. But my reason that I don't drink isn't because I think that I'll do something. It's because I don't want to become a victim of having like too much alcohol. You know what I mean? And then like forget it with the job. Casey told you we have to be fit for duty at all times. So like even if you're a victim of something and you had too much to drink and the duty captain shows up, you're getting suspended. Even if you're a victim, man. Like so you just gotta like whatever.
Assholes bumping into you when they're drunk. It's the same thing as drugs or anything. It just makes you more of who you are.
100%.
Yeah, I guess
Simple- simple as that,
That's true.
you know.
It amplifies your actual emotions and that. Oh, so I am a kind guy. That's great. I'm actually not pretending.
It's, what? You take every pro bodybuilder in the world, for example, right? And it's no secret they're all using steroids.
Right.
Now, how many of them have you met that are really bad, shitty people? Not many, because they're all happy doing what they love. But you take no. I'm saying like screaming and like very aggressive.
I haven't
But
seen that.
It's so funny that you mention that because now guys I know, right? I always try to convince everybody to come to Bev's and they have this like made up perception in their head that everybody there is a fucking juice head, meat head, and they're all fucking pieces of shit, assholes, and they're going to be total dicks. It is 100% the complete opposite, and that's because of what you just said. Everybody in there takes it 100% seriously, and everybody there is so helpful. I always tell people, it's like, when I go in there, it's like Cheers, bro. Like, it's like the Cheers of
really.
gyms. You're like, yo, man, what's going on? What's up? Blah, blah, blah. Like, guys that you haven't seen in a while. It's honestly amazing,
It's ironic. It's the opposite of a Planet Fitness, but it's truly the place of no judgments. Because if you go to Bev's and you're a good person, everybody's more than happy to help you out.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I brought a buddy there, and he's definitely probably gonna listen, and he's gonna know I'm talking about him. So, fuck you. So, I brought a buddy there, and he always bitches about like, oh, I couldn't go to a gym where there's this many dudes on juice, and at the same time,
cares?
Who gives a shit?
exactly. At the same time, we've had conversations in the past where I've said to him, I said, just because you feel uncomfortable about them, like you think they're judging you, they're not.
100%.
Nobody gives a fuck about you. I'm just gonna let you know. That guy's getting ready for that show. He's worried about himself. These two are training. They're too busy taking selfies together in that mirror.
Yeah.
No one is looking at you going, what? Why is he not like big? Why is he not the size of us? Like no one says shit like that. And I have that all the time. And when I first joined Bevs, especially, people would say, you know, oh, you go to Bev Francis? Isn't it, you know, it's a little intimidating there. No, I like it there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
If anything, it drives me.
If anything, like I hear people tell me all these like stories about their gyms, about like what people do and like how people treat other people, and I'm like, dude, that shit would never fly.
Oh, and
no,
like
no.
LA
No way.
Fitnesses and crunches.
Yeah,
Even just putting your weights away.
dude, 100%. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, bro, that don't happen.
This
I'm
chick,
like,
this
if that happens in Bevs and you get caught, like they will throw you out.
Yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
Steve
will
will
throw you
fucking
out.
kill you.
I saw a new kid at Bev's. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever. And I saw him like, hey, John, nice to meet you. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? And he was training with somebody else. It was two kids just taking videos of each other, you know, the whole fucking workout. I'm like, just so you guys know, you're new here. I'm like, you got to put your weights away, man. I'm like, they're not going to have that.
Good
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
let him
yeah,
know.
yeah.
man.
Yeah, because he left like
And they
5
won't.
plates on the trap machine.
Yeah.
They were doing shrugs with it, and they walked away. I'm like, guys, hold on a second.
And it's something I've never seen. I've never seen weights not put away. It's great. And like, listen,
It's very rare. Yeah,
I'm terrified
never.
of Steve anyway, man. Like, you know, I'll be like, hey, how's it going? You know,
There was a kid. I was with Gunther, and there was a kid who spit on the floor. I'll never forget that.
my God,
He was like, spit right on the floor right before his set, and Gunther goes, "Where the fuck do you think you are right now?"
Yeah,
He goes,
that's
what
crazy.
kind of gym do you think you're at right now? What do you
Yeah.
think? You're just like in a cave? Like,
Yeah.
don't ever do that shit again. I'll never
it's
forget
crazy,
how mad
dude.
him and I both got. We were just looking at him like, where do you think you just come into a gym and spit on the floor? You do that shit at LA Fitness? Like, is that what you do over there?
Dude, that's gross, man.
You know what's funny? That shows the Bev's community right there. We genuinely, it's one of the only places in the world where we actually give a shit about the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? If
And it makes
spits
a
on
big
the floor-
difference.
Oh, I put other people. If I see shit left on a thing, or I see an
That's my
attachment
point.
left on,
Yeah.
I'll move it back. I tell
Yeah.
and people, whenever I see somebody say I didn't know you, and you come up and you're like looking around this and that, I'll be like, yo, you want to work in with me? Like, I don't know if you're looking for this attachment or this cable, but I got 3 more on here or 2 more. But
Yeah.
if you want to work in, it's everybody's gym, man. I say that all the
Absolutely.
time.
Exactly.
It's everybody's gym. You're paying your fucking membership. You're paying yours. I'm paying mine. We all are part owners of this fucking gym, technically.
Yeah.
Why am I going to leave it dirty? Why am I not going to let him work in with me? I want it to be an environment that everyone wants to be in.
Right.
Yeah, and it
And
makes
it definitely is.
What other now? I want to know, what other gyms you've been to that were go-tos for you on Long Island, at least. You said that place in Lindenhurst.
The place in Lindenhurst, All Natural, was good. I wish I was lifting weights at the time. It probably would have been better, but I was just pretty much doing cardio. But it was like old school. The guy who owned it was like, I mean, straight out of the 80s. Like, he used to wear like the Zubaz pants and like a tank top. And like, you know, I'm sure he's still out there somewhere. But they turned it into a school. They closed it down. I used to go to, I had a membership. I'm not going to say I used to go, because but by saying that, it's like being like, oh yeah, I went there 3 times. Because like I said, I never really was like into it. I was a member of Planet Fitness, where I did cardio. Place sucked. So like when I talk about Planet Fitness, guys, I know. I was a member there. I did go there before. It's not like I'm just talking about it. I know. There was a powerhouse in Farmingdale, in like the industrial complex.
Wasn't that Infinity?
It's something else now. I can't
Remember
remember what it
Infinity
is.
Fitness in Farmingdale?
Yeah.
That place was dope.
And
Clay used to go there. All the Sean Harris used to go there. A lot of the old school guys went there.
And then before that, like there was the first gym I really ever like went to. I bought a 3-month membership to Synergy in Farmingdale. That was like the first like real gym that I ever went to.
Oh, right off Main Street,
Yeah, right there. That was the first one I ever did.
right in the basement. They have all the weights in the basement.
Yeah. Yep.
I liked it there. I shot a video there.
Yeah. But like now, I'll go to any gym. Like if let's say it's Saturday or Sunday and I need to work out, I'll go to a day pass. I'll go to 24-hour fitness in Massapequa, which is, I hate to shit talk them, but like I've been there like 5 times, right? So first time, I print out a day pass. I go there. There's nobody even working the desk. This is like 11:30 at night. Nobody even working the desk. I'm looking around. I walk in. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just going to work out. I worked out for 2 hours. Not one person came up to me, nothing.
You just left, and then you just
And
left?
I just left.
I know
Worked out for free.
Gym like that, yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, that's not the only time it happened. It happened twice more where there was nobody there. Like, it was nuts. And then another time, it's pretty much a new gym. It's only been open a couple months. And when I tell you this place is trashed already, it's fucking dude, it's trash. Like, there's like unracked weights, just laying on the floor. Like, dude, it's crazy, man. Like, you open up a new facility, and like, yeah, it's a chain or whatever, and like, but somebody's got to take care of it, man. Like,
didn't what's it called close down?
Synergy in Massapequa closed down.
Babylon. What's the World Gym?
I got a fucking story about that place. So World's Gym, it's New York Iron Gym now. They got
that's the big one. That used to be the Armitage. That one.
Which one?
The Armitage. That
No,
one.
no. It's on 110. So it was World's Gym for a while, a really, really long time, and then he changed over the name to New York Iron Gym.
Okay.
I got some stories about that place that I cannot say on here.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you both after. Basically, it's got a lot to do with the fucking rent. And have you ever been in there?
No.
It's a fucking ghost town. It's been a ghost town since I've known that place.
It's like Sparta. Sparta's a ghost town.
Yeah,
even though it's got some of the best equipment ever. Just
that's what I hate about the World's Gym. Who knows if they're open now? It's been back and forth, left and right. But it has so much potential to be a beautiful gym, but it was run into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
It really was, and it sucks. And I hate to say it, but it's true, man.
we gotta go to Montanari, bro. I gotta drag you up there.
Yeah, I gotta get up there, man.
Who's up there? I know a couple. I mean, Evan Centopani's up there. A lot of the the bigger New England guys are up there. That gym is fucking awesome. Think of Bev's just on a larger scale with big ceilings. That's it. It's a really good place to train and be.
That's nice.
Yeah, man. Did you have any other questions for him?
No. We covered all of them.
Yeah, we covered all.
Yeah, we covered all.
Shit.
What I'm curious about is when you said you were gonna do that long New York City bike ride. How do you prep for that?
I bought a bike, and I just was riding my own bike, and then I was riding the exercise bike all the time, and like I was still like pretty way more overweight than I was obviously now, but I did fine. I did fine.
Yeah,
it was
you felt good doing it.
Oh, it was awesome.
Hey,
awesome. And the year that I did it, it poured raining, so I did the 42 miles in the rain. It was good, man.
That's what made it
bearable.
Cool.
Yeah, like,
did you wind up doing another one?
I did 3 of them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I've done 3 of them. So I didn't do it the last 2 years because just I was on vacation. I wasn't here. I was
Would you do one next? When do they do them? Spring?
Usually like first weekend of May.
You want to do one?
Yeah, I'll definitely do it again.
You want to do one?
I'll be there for emotional support.
It's not that hard. Listen, it's not honestly not that hard. The hardest part is the bridges, going up the bridges, because it's just like complete incline all the way. But as long as you don't stop and don't get off and keep pedaling, you're fine.
So what I'll do is I'll follow you guys around in like an Uber Eats.
A golf cart?
You want to be our camera guy?
Yeah.
Sure.
You'll be our camera guy. We'll do
I'll
it.
be like, what do you call it? You ever see the footage of the guy who's like doing the sprinting in the Olympics? And the camera guy's keeping up with him foot for foot.
Yes.
With
running
crazy,
with
man.
like an
Next to him.
80-pound camera on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Cops too, like the
They're
camera
looking
guy.
over.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did they do any live? They don't do any live PD with you guys, right?
No, they don't film anything. There's an episode of there's like 3 episodes of Cops that were filmed like back in the 80s. If you get a chance to look at them, it's actually pretty awesome to see them. But since then, they haven't done anything.
Is it just because they don't want to have anything filmed in New York?
I honestly don't know.
Because I know they have Bridgeport. I see the live PD in Bridgeport. I'm like, yo, good luck.
Yeah, Bridgeport's not.
Oh man, yo, Bridgeport rough.
Yeah, for real, 100%.
I think I want to end on one thing. I want to ask you, the big thing you said you were really negative, right?
Yeah.
What helped you change your mindset? Because that's usually one of the hardest things to change. Not even the physical, it's the mind.
I wanted to get into this like before, but like once I started taking care of my body, I'm telling you, everything went with it. I cared about being more positive. I saw how pretty much I was like, it was just a reflection of myself. Like I just looked at myself and I was like, what am I doing? Like to myself, to like the people around me. And like once I started getting in good physical shape, everything followed suit with it. I noticed my attitude start to change. I noticed myself start to care about other people. I expected more of myself. I expected more of the people around me. And I enjoyed life more because I felt better. Because like when I was overweight at my heaviest, getting out of bed was a chore, and you don't realize it at the time because everybody complains about getting out of bed. So you just think like, oh yeah, it's supposed to suck. It's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to feel like you're going to like die when you stand up, you know? Like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. So like when you like relieve your body of all that stress of like, of that, everything starts to change. Like I want to improve everything. That's even the reason I took the sergeant's exam at the NYPD. Like I expected more of myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, and I still do the same thing now. Like it just fitness and getting yourself in shape like bleeds into everything else. It's like that poster in the Bev's gym bathroom. It's a guy playing. It's an old guy playing golf, and it says, "Working out makes you better at everything else you do," or something like that. Next time you're in there, you'll see it. It's like an old ass poster just sitting there.
I'm never gonna not see it.
Yeah, see, but you're gonna see it.
Try to ignore it.
And it's just
I know the one with the treadmill. Working out's better with your friends or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. That's on the other side. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's 100% true, man. It makes life better. Everything.
Did you listen to anything or any speakers or anything like that, or was it just kind of like that motivational that helped you in that aspect, or was it just you once your body started doing it, the mind followed?
Once, I mean, everything was like no like real motivational people in general, like at first, but now I listen to everything. I listen to like The Rock, Joe Rogan, like all the Machiavelli motivation. There's times in the gym where like I don't feel like it. This is a true story. And so downstairs in the basement of the command, it's just like a crappy radio with a speaker, and I'm the only one down there.
Yeah,
So
I've seen your videos.
So I plug it in, and I just would put on Machiavelli motivation on YouTube and just fucking turn that shit up, man. And like, I'm telling you,
All of a sudden, you feel like kicking a door.
oh,
in.
legit,
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah,
Because of that Nicky Rizzles footage.
yeah, exactly.
That's what gets you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I own a little gym out in East Islip, like a private training facility. So when I'm training out there, we have a couple smart TVs set up. So if I'm training legs or like, it's just me and like another client in the room, something there's nobody training, just regular PT clients.
Yeah.
We'll throw on some like lifting footage, like Dorian Yates, something on there. Just to add a little bit of energy to the room.
Yeah, like there's something about like hearing Guy Sisternino tell me to go fuck myself that I'm like, fuck you, let's do this shit, Like,
You know what? Fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah, listen, anything that gets you out and amped up. I used to watch all the, what was it, Nick Vision? You ever see those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
To
yeah.
watch
Those are up there
back-
too. I still follow that, I think.
Back when I was in prep, I used to listen and watch all those because after an hour in the morning of fasted cardio and training in the middle and 45 minutes at night, I
that's
needed
crazy, man.
I needed just more than caffeine at that point. I needed my mind to really hone in on
Yeah.
it. You listen to Jocko Willink?
Sometimes it's like I like it, but like sometimes it just gets a little much for me.
Yeah,
he's good,
super
though.
intense.
Yeah, super intense. Same thing, Andy Frisella. Like sometimes, like, but his stuff is like more business related, and I honestly has nothing to do with me. Like
I haven't
for the
listened.
most
I
part,
haven't listened to his
Me
stuff
neither.
ever.
Oh
Really.
yeah.
I know him.
It's-
I know him through First Form,
Right,
and I know
right.
you were connected with them. I don't know if you still are.
I mean, like loosely, not like crazy.
Not
like,
as tight as you were.
I mean, like, yeah, listen, I still have a discount code and all that other stuff, and like I like them as people, but like honestly, if I'm always honest, it just it became a little too cultish for me, man. Like
I think I talked to you about that.
and I still love all those people a lot, and I appreciate them. I appreciate everything they've done for me. They flew me out there. They did videos, all that stuff. And like I said, I still love those people. I still love Andy. Andy still has like in his house, he has like a coin that I sent him like on his personal like mantle. Like I still love that guy. But the problem comes when everybody wants to be a sponsored athlete. Everybody wants a discount code. Everybody wants to be an influencer. All this shit. It just gets so watered down and stupid that like you see some of them. And listen, I'm not being a hater.
You're being realistic.
You can tell like when somebody's done shit and somebody has not done shit, or somebody's working hard and somebody's not working hard. And if you don't know anything and you don't work hard and you're not working on constantly improving yourself and you're a disaster of a person, who the fuck are you to tell somebody else how they should work out and take care of themselves, or what they should take and what they should put in their body? Like, are you doing that? Did you do that? Did you get results? If not, then you shouldn't be saying shit. So, like, yeah, like, I still have a discount code with them. I don't know if I have it after this, but whatever. Listen, I don't just use their stuff. I use the MFit stuff. I use,
Right.
NutriBio, whatever. Like, and that's another thing too. Is like I wasn't just into using just one like supplement company. Like,
Yeah, I
use-
haven't been either.
Yeah.
I use a
lot.
bunch of shit. Like, it is what it is, man.
I get whenever I work with a company, they usually give me a bunch of their shit,
Right.
or I get sent the stuff
Right.
because they want to have a relationship with me, this and that.
Right.
I shout everybody out.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
thank you.
I shout everybody out. I appreciate
Yeah.
you sending me product. That's out of the kindness
Yeah.
of your heart, giving me product.
Right.
I appreciate you sending me that. However, I also won't promote something that I don't like.
Right.
So
I
if
agree,
I
100%.
try something I don't like and I don't like it, I won't throw it up there,
100%.
man.
Right.
I'll let them know. I'll give them that feedback. I'll say, hey, I appreciate you sending me this, but by the way, this tasted like ass, or this made me throw up, or this made me do this.
Yeah.
Probably rethink that. I don't know if you got that feedback from anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
But keep it 100. Be
Yeah,
respectful to everybody. You gotta be
have
respectful to
There's
everybody.
so much bullshit out there on the internet. It's like you have to like be the person, and I try to do that on my page all the time. Like I just try to keep it 100. Like I try to balance 3 things: my job, my family, working out, like what's going on in my life. Be a real person first, and then like people will align with that. Like trying to like be like, yeah, look at me, I work out and I sell supplements and like all this shit, and like no, people want to see real people. They want to identify with real people, and I think that's way more important for social media. People want to talk to the real people.
Being transparent.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why the real people succeed on there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Or like girls that look good, you know.
I was hanging with a girl and she recently. And she goes, you're very energetic on your stories. Like, 'cause I'm having fun out here. I said, I don't want to fake it. I don't want to pretend like I'm sitting here and I'm miserable or anything like that. Even if I'm having a bad day, I would be like, yo, I hope everyone's having a dope day. I might be having a shitty day, but I hope you're having a great day. It's like just spread the vibes.
Absolutely.
Good
Yeah,
vibes. Good vibes only. Now plug your Instagram handle.
At huge_fat_loser.
And now I'm going to get into that because I actually had my own question that just
All
reminded
right,
me.
cool.
Why the name?
All right. So originally, Big Fat Loser was taken, and so I was like, "What's bigger than big? Huge."
What if huge was taken?
I don't know.
Enormous?
I don't know where
Gargantuan.
I would have had to rethink it. And you know what's funny? I get DMs all the time telling me, you know, somebody who like really is pissed off at my username is that guy Afro Brutality. He does like motivational like quotes. He's like,
I know him. I think I've shared some of his stuff.
Yeah, he DM'd me and he was like, your name is like too self-deprecating. You can't think of yourself negatively like that. I'm like, yo, I don't. Like, it's not like that. It's just like a play on words. Like I'm losing a huge amount of fat. That's it. You know, I don't know. That's why I came up with the name and it just stuck with it. And I thought about changing it a couple times, but you can't. Like that's what you started with. You just got to ride it out, bro.
Yeah.
I remember when I started posting more about like fitness stuff. My name when there was no Pig Nutty.
Nice.
And then I'm like, well, it's not Nick knows. It's not even pronounced Pig Nutty.
Yeah, it's Pignetti.
It's Pinetti.
Pinetti, yeah.
But I'm like, all right, let me nip this in the bud. That was fun when I was younger, but let me get a little more professional with it.
Yeah, and I say it every time. Everybody thinks my name is actually Nicky. Like
Yeah.
my
And
whole
your last name is Rizzles.
Yeah, I get people that say that. They're like, how should we? I've had people send a plane like to go shoot.
Really?
Like, they'll put Rizzles on the ticket. I'm like, no.
No, I'm not coming.
It's Nick Rizzo. Don't. Nicky? No. That's what my grandmother calls me Nicky.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I said, I've just let it ride because it rhymes, and like everyone calls me Nicky now. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. I accept it. Everybody's calling to me, not just grandma. But yo, Aaron, for real though, super psyched to have you in here.
Thank you. This
Great,
is super awesome. This is definitely the most professional looking thing that I think I've ever done in my life.
I appreciate it. We tried.
Yeah.
I was intimidated by the stories and seeing like these legit microphones and stuff, but I had a great time.
It's
man.
all good, man.
Yeah.
We just want, like I said, our goal is not to get famous, not to do anything. Our goal is to literally just bring your experiences, funny stories, painful stories, whatever they may be, throw them out there.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting paid for this. This isn't what we're getting paid for. We want to just bring all of these experiences and these different stories to the forefront. Because, like I said, if we have one person that gets help from it out of like say 200 people, then we've done the right thing. We've done the job, and that's what we want to do.
Maybe
Absolutely.
you're creating somebody else's epiphany right now with this.
I hope so. Listen, and like one of the last things I want to say is like I don't care how old you are or what you've had going on in your life previously. Like the best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time to start is right now. All right, so just change your shit right now. Just like. And never look back, man. Like, if you stumble, you fall, just keep on going forward. Like, I've screwed up. I've messed up. I've, gone bad on my diet. But, like, as long as you keep going and keep being consistent, like, you'll get to where you want to be. And you just got to keep pushing forward. Like, I hope that for all of you out there listening to this.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have John kick this outro off. John?
So, Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of The Voice.
And Rizzles.
And huge fat loser.
And for all of you haters out there, Aaron is not a huge fat loser. He is the huge fat loser. Until next time, guys, take it easy and take care of yourselves. We love you.
Bye.
Peace.